Hey, what's up everyone? It's Larry the Batman fan here, and I'm back with another video. Today we're going to be going over all of the Xbox 360 games I have here. So I'm not going to delay the inevitable. I'm going to get started right away. You might hear me occasionally drink from this. Other than that, we're going to get it going. So starting off, we have Need for Speed Shift 2 Unleashed. Very good Need for Speed game. A lot of fun, good racing, good tracks, colorful graphics. It was a good game, good Need for Speed game. I do have the first one coming in the mail very soon from my main man, Gimpy Ninja. I just haven't gotten it yet. But he's going to send it out tomorrow. And trust me, when that package comes in, I'm going to do another unboxing video. Another pickups video. So, it's coming. I just don't have it yet. But I have played this game. It's pretty good. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. I have this pretty much on everything. I have it for PS3 and Nintendo Wii as well. Campaign was very short in the game, which was disappointing because I beat this game in like a day, or less than a day. So that's the only disappointing thing. And the online mode, I don't think I ever played the online mode for this game, but I've heard it was a blast, But yeah, after you beat the campaign, it's not much to do unless you want to play online, honestly. So, there are Call of Duty games that had better campaigns that were much longer. This one was just really short. And personally, I've heard from some people tell me, isn't that in your top 20? Not really. This might make my top 100 games, but definitely would not make my top 20. I already did a top 20 best Xbox 360 collection. If y'all haven't watched that, go ahead and check it out. Got Call of Duty Black Ops 2. A very good Call of Duty game. I love that you could play split screen with your friends and not have to worry about being online. That was nice. And the campaign was longer and a bit more decent, going after the bad guy Raul Mendez, catching up to him and everything. There was this one part of the game where you got to ride the horse. That was pretty cool too. I like how they changed it up a bit with you riding a horse and stuff. But yeah, it's a first-person shooter series, and it's died off. In my opinion, it's dead. It's a dead franchise. It keeps making games though every single year, and that's why it's a dead franchise. But back on this and PS3 and all that, it was still pretty good. You got Call of Duty Black Ops, also great. One of the best Call of Duties ever made. Had a zombie mode in it. Excellent game. Black Ops series is just nailing it with that sort of thing. Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, it's not complete. It doesn't have the cover art and the manual is missing. Actually, when I got this off a lot, the cover art was like NHL 2011. And I opened it up and this was in there. I was like, oh, gee, actually a better game. I'm like, pretty sweet. I just threw out the NHL cover though, because who cares about that, But Advanced Warfighter didn't do too much new. All it really did was add those spring boots so you could jump high in the game. Other than that, it was just basically the same shooting game as it's been for the past 15 years or so. This game was also released on PS3, and it was released on PS4 and Xbox One as well, since it was the startup. 2014 was around the time that PS4 rather, and Xbox One came out. But it's a decent game. I'm just not super stoked about Call of Duty anymore. Call of Duty 5 World at War, very good Call of Duty game, very fun. That's all I'm going to say because I pretty much covered everything else. Darksiders is a great game, great hack and slash game. Where you fight these vicious monsters and stuff, and you fight them with a sword and a chain things like that. It's pretty good. I like it. Pretty good game. Cameo Elements of Power. This was when Rare was still around. Now Rare is gone. This game's okay. It's like a action platformer game with a little bit of RPG elements in it. Not a bad game. The graphics looked beautiful and the environments were interesting to look at while you're like breezing through the levels and stuff. So it was alright. It had a like Crash Bandicoot type of vibe to it, meets like Tomb Raider and kind of Bridge of Spirits. That's like the best way of explaining it or describing it. So kind of like that. Singularity. This was a good game. This was a first-person shooter. You're going through levels and you're shooting like these monsters and stuff. Pretty cool game. Definitely underrated in my opinion. But it's a good game. It's really cheap still, even to this day. It'll only cost you about $10 to get a copy. But it's good. I like it. It had some light horror elements in the game as well. Devil May Cry 4, obviously a great franchise. Dante is like this badass who was like, I think he's like a half demon, which I'm not really all about demon stuff. I really don't like that stuff. But he wants to be good and help people. And so in the game, you fight monsters with swords and you kill monsters and things like that. So that's basically what it is. It's a hack and slash action game, and it's good. I can definitely see why it sticks around. Darksiders 2. I'm pretty sure I got Darksiders 2 for free off my main man Gimpy Ninja. I've done 7 unboxing videos, pickup videos, so check it out. But I'm pretty damn sure I did get this for free. So I haven't played it yet because I haven't beaten the first one. And I have the third one that I got off of him as well. I haven't played that either because I'm still going through the first game. Here we have the Assassin's Creed games. I don't have all of them. I just got Assassin's Creed Revelations, Assassin's Creed 2, Assassin's Creed 3, and Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag. And I know there's also Assassin's Creed Brotherhood and Rogue that were released on Xbox 360, and I think Origins was released on Xbox 360, but I'm not entirely sure. And I know there's also Assassin's Creed Mirage, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and Assassin's Creed Unity, which really sucks a big one because it's really glitchy. And then Assassin's Creed Bloodlines on the PSP. And there was an Assassin's Creed Liberations game on the PS Vita. Although I think it got ported to the 360. I'm not entirely sure. But that's a lot of Assassin's Creed games. And to be honest with you, I'm not like a huge Assassin's Creed fan. I'll admit that they do have some nice graphics and do have some intriguing gameplay. But I'm not like huge into them. And I definitely would not consider owning every single game because it's the same old shit in each fucking game. You're basically just going through the levels, killing people, stealing stuff, and upgrading your sword and things like that. And plus, in certain games, you're playing as different characters. You're not even playing as the original main character. But I will admit that they do have their place in gaming. But to pick them all up, you don't really need to do that. I'm content with these. This is enough for me, personally. Alright, move that over there. Let's get to this stack now. Let's see. Here we go. BioShock Infinite. This is a great game. Although it's a little bit different than the first 2 BioShock games, which had that like underwater feel. And you had to like kill these like robots and stuff. The Big Daddy with the big with that one hand, it's like a big ass drill, So they didn't really have that in this one. It was like a different story. It had like more of a Call of Duty vibe to it. But I liked it. I thought it was good. It was different though. I will say that this game, the graphics look damn good. I mean, they look so good. Like, I couldn't believe how great they looked. Like, and even to this day, playing it, the graphics are still mind blowing. And this game is old now. This game came out over 10 years ago, but it's still, the graphics look amazing. So that was definitely interesting how a game 10 years old can still look that damn good. I'm just blown away by it. Um, Still has the same puzzle solving and things like that in the game. Firing off your guns and fighting bad guys and stuff. Still has that, but there's no water effects. I guess because in this game they wanted to be a bit more diverse from the first two games, which were you underwater, certain doors need to be unlocked, and you need to puzzle solve to get those doors unlocked. Fight a bunch of bad guys with guns and stuff and kill them, and then pick up ammo and things like that, looting along the way. But yeah, that's basically what Bioshock is. But it's good, and it was creative, especially for its time. Atomic Heart is like the new game that's trying to replicate Bioshock, and it does look good. Um, but I don't know about $50 for Atomic Heart for PS4. I mean PS5. MX versus ATV Alive. I like the MX games. They're pretty cool. You get to ride on motorcycles or ATVs and go through levels, tearing up the dirt and trying to get first place. Very fun title. I do recommend these. There's like 3 of them on the Xbox 360. Prince of Persia. Decent game. Not bad. Definitely not the best Prince of Persia in the series, but it's not a bad game. I do recommend it. Prince of Persia is a action game. We play as a guy. Goes through the levels, climb on platforms, you go from left to right. And you also fight creatures in the game, sometimes birds, and sometimes monsters that you have to fight with swords and stuff. It's a good game. I like it. Although all the Prince of Persia games are really solid, to be honest with you. Injustice Gods Among Us Ultimate Edition, this version had like pretty much everything, the DLC and everything. Really great game. It was also released on PS4 and Xbox One, but it was one of the last games to come out for 360 and PS3 as well. You get to play as Batgirl, Batman, Robin, Martian Manhunter, Superman, the Joker. I'm not sure who that girl is right there. I don't remember who he is either. And that dude, is that Bane? It might be Bane. But yeah, and you also get to play as like Harley Quinn, Green Arrow, Green Lantern, The Flash, and many other characters from the DC franchise. I think maybe Blue Beetle might be in the game. And maybe Captain... No, not Captain Marvel, because Captain Marvel is Marvel. I don't know, Captain Atom maybe, or something. I forget. But it's a fighting game, and it's pretty good. I beat the campaign. I even beat the second one. It's good. Hopefully they'll make Injustice 3 soon. That would be awesome. Hitman, what is this? Absolution? Yeah. The Hitman games are okay in my opinion. But they're very hard. I mean, I never beat Hitman Contracts. I never beat Hitman Blood Money. And Hitman 2 Silent Assassin, it took me a very long time to beat that game. But this one I've heard is a bit different. It's a bit easier to get through the game, which makes it less of a chore to play. Plus, in one of those older Xbox games, there was a part in the game where there was like 2 guys standing outside this one room, and you're in this one room, and then when you go out that one room, the other guy like charges at you, but then like when you back away and hide in the corner, he doesn't even pursue you. So that was a game flaw. But Yeah, this one it's a bit easier to get through, I will say. It's still a stealthy game, don't get me wrong. You're still playing as a bad guy, but it's definitely a bit easier, than the other ones. So that's why I don't mind this game so much. Although, if I'm gonna play any stealth game, I'm all about the splitter cells. To be honest with y'all, I think I'd rather play as Sam Fisher because he's a good guy than this guy, or Metal Gear Solid. It's definitely challenging for sure. Fallout 3 is a great game, excellent RPG game, and yes, I call it an RPG because its main core is RPG, even though it does have some shooting in it and survival horror elements in the game. It's an excellent sandbox game. Definitely is awesome. Definitely, you will get your money's worth for this game. This game's only like $10 nowadays. You have no reason to not to pick this game up because it's one of the best games that you can get for your Xbox 360 or PS3. Definitely buy this game. It's excellent. And so is Fallout New Vegas, which I do have here somewhere. Blue Dragon's a great game. I do recommend Blue Dragon. This is a very fun RPG game. But I think Fable 2 and Fable 3 are more my style, more action RPG. This one's like a JRPG. It does have some action in it though, but there's a lot of grinding in the game and stuff, and it's a bitch to get through, you know what I mean? But you will get through it eventually. It just takes a lot of time, patience, and I'm working a full-time job, so I don't have that much time on my hands. I'm not a kid anymore. If you hear that in the background, that's just sirens passing through. I don't know, I guess somebody burned their house down or some shit. I don't know. Anyways, Batman Arkham City. This is a great game. Very fun action game where he plays Batman. This one was a bit more open world than the first game, which was a bit more linear. But it's great. I still have yet to beat this game. I've been playing it for a while. I also own this game on the Wii U as well. I've owned it for PS3 as well because of random lots that I've gotten off of eBay. But it's a great game. There's lots of bad guys that you fight on the street. They swear at you. They're like, "I'm gonna kick your ass" and things like that. And it's Batman. Let's get him. Then you have to do like crazy combos and whatnot, and just beat the hell out of them. But it's a good game, and I definitely do recommend it. There's also side missions where you can like go and get like the Riddler's like clues and stuff, and that would take you a very long time to find every single one of them. But it is a good game, serving up justice in the Arkham world, Gotham world, I meant to say. And it's a really good game. I recommend it. All of them are great. Really put Batman back on the map in terms of quality Batman games. Alright, let's continue. Dynasty Warriors 6, very good game. Good tactics game with fighting the bad guys, hundreds of bad guys on screen, just whacking them with your sword or your staff and stuff. It's a good game. Now they've sort of milked the Dynasty Warriors franchise because they've got 9 of them in the series. I heard that they're all pretty good except for the last one. The Dynasty Warriors 9 game I heard really stunk. Hang on a second, folks. Gotta blow my nose. Alright, let's continue. Halo 3 ODST. A lot of people hated this game, but some people liked it. I thought it was a good game, but I could understand why some people didn't really like this game. It was not as good as the other Halo games in the franchise, but it still was not a bad first-person shooter. I still had some fun with it. Dead Rising. I also have Dead Rising 2, but I have it for PS3. And I've played Dead Rising 3 on Xbox One. And I have also played Dead Rising Chop Till You Drop on the Wii. It's a zombie game. The first games, you start off in the mall. You play as Frank West, going through the levels and stuff, just killing zombies inside of a mall and saving the survivors, the people that are still not infected. And that's basically what you do. It's a good game. I'm just not a big fan of it, you know. I prefer Resident Evil over Dead Rising rather. Dead Island's also another good zombie game. But yeah, I don't think Dead Rising is a bad game. I'm not as big into it as like Jackal Gold Kick is. Dragon's Dogma. I don't really like to play these type of games because it has sorcery in it, so I've never played it. It was part of a lot. You know, I don't like sorcery games. I don't like Magic, The Gathering, and Harry Potter and things like that because I'm Christian. Titanfall, this is a good game, good first-person shooter game. They literally, you know, released Titanfall on Xbox 360 and Xbox One, but never ported it to PS3, so it ended up being exclusive for those two consoles. And then when the second game came out, they released it on PS4 and Xbox One, which makes no sense. Why did they do that? I don't get it. They did the same thing with the full auto games on Xbox 360. The first one was only on Xbox 360. The second game, I think it was on 360, PSP, and PS3. But the first full auto game never got a release on the PS3, which is stupid as well. But yeah, Titanfall game, you're a guy goes inside of a robot and you start blowing everything up. It's great if you like first-person shooter games. It's a lot of fun, actually. Borderlands pre-sequel. Also have this on PS3. Pretty good game. Good RPG / shooter. Definitely fun. Battlefield Bad Company 2. I thought this was the best Battlefield game we ever got. Honestly, the campaign is very good. The graphics are a little bit dated to today's standard, but the game is still pretty fun. It's a good first-person shooter game where you play as military men going around trying to save innocent civilians and kill bad guys and the other armies, you know. And yeah, it's good. And the online is excellent too. I don't know if the servers are still up for the game, but the online mode was pretty fun. Divinity 2, Ego Dracones, however you pronounce it. Picked this up at Mr. Deals when I got another Xbox 360, since the first Xbox 360 that I was sent was no good. It had Red Ring of Death. And I returned that damn Xbox 360 game, or system rather, with the games to that guy from the internet, eBay, and he returned it back to my house. So I just chucked the thing in the trash with the cords. I kept the controller and the games, the ones that weren't like busted. But other than that, pretty much threw that away and had to go to Mr. Deals to get a working Xbox 360 because he will not sell me a broken machine. And I got the black Elite model, the only one that's really free of the faulty Red Ring of Death. But Divinity 2, by the way, is an RPG game and it plays pretty well. The graphics are pretty good. I didn't get much time to play it. I have played it a few times, and from what I played, it was pretty good. I need to get back into it though. But it's definitely more action RPG focused. I mean, like you travel through the towns and stuff and then talk to people. Some of them give you information to get to where you need to be and talk to this person and that person. And others, they want to fight you, you know. And occasionally you'll find an enemy, like a bunch of flies and stuff that come by and want to fight you or a dragon that you have to kill. It was definitely a interesting game, definitely a fun game for sure for RPG. Not bad. Defiance, I can't play because they took the servers down for this game and they made it online only. So, what the hell? I can't play it. So that's just shelf space right there. I never got to play Defiance. Super Street Fighter 4, or Street Fighter 4 rather. I know there's another version of it, Super Street Fighter 4. I think there was also an Ultimate Edition and a Street Fighter Collection thing that they put out for 360 that had Street Fighter 1, 2, 3, and all the Turbo and Championship Edition versions. But Street Fighter 4 is a pretty good game, good fighting game. Lots of combos and stuff that you do in the game. Play as Dhalsim, throws his arms out like that, you know. Got Ryu, Chun-Li. You got that Commander dude and that Army Navy dude. M. Bison and Gully, I think, are their names. And a bunch of other characters. Ken on the front there. And it's a really good game. It's a franchise that stood the test of time because it actually was fair and balanced from the Sega days and the Super Nintendo days. And it didn't suck like a lot of those other fighting games back in the day that really sucked and are no longer around anymore. So this was a great game. And I don't think that Street Fighter will ever go away because it's good. Left 4 Dead and Left 4 Dead 2. Both of these games are amazing. They are really great first-person shooter games where you're in a zombie apocalypse. There's 4 main survivors. There's other survivors in the game, but there's mainly 4 main characters that you get to play as, or you could have 4 people playing it and going through the campaigns, or playing online. I will say the online for the game was a blast to play. I got to play it at a friend's house, and we had a blast playing it. We played it for like 5 hours, you know, back in like 2010 or something, 2009. It was a really great game, great series. They need to make a Left 4 Dead 3. They also did make a Back 4 Blood video game, but it is not as good as the Left 4 Dead games. That is the only franchise other than Call of Duty that got the whole killing zombies with guns and stuff correct. I mean, yeah, Dead Island's got a little bit of that in it, and Dead Island works well, but it doesn't play as similar as like Left 4 Dead 1 and 2. And that other game that I just mentioned a moment ago. So, really, there's not many games quite like Left 4 Dead, to be honest with y'all. But it is a good series that needs to make another game. Maybe put it on PS5 and Xbox Series X. We would love to see a third game. Microsoft, what the hell are you guys doing? Fable 2 is a great action RPG game, continued from the first Fable game, and it's excellent. You get to be a good guy or a bad guy. You can sleep in people's beds, and you get to steal shit in the game. It's a blast. You could become one of your one of the people that the townspeople raves about, or they could be like the people that absolutely despise you and don't want you around them because you're evil. So I chose to be good in this game because, well, I'm a man of God, so of course I want to be a good guy, not a bad guy. It's also nice that you get a dog companion in the game too. And there is some opening of doors and stuff like that. I know they focused heavily on that in the first game. Not so much in this game. You can just walk through everything, explore the towns and stuff. You can also rob people in this game too. The choices are really up to you in the Fable franchise. Fable's another game that needs to make a comeback. Where's Fable 4? We haven't seen it, Microsoft. Where's it at? It's one of your only games that's exclusive. besides Gears of War and Halo. And Gears of War 5 is a piece of crap. Okay? I'm sure Jackal Goldkick would agree with me that Gears of War 5 sucks. Okay? They need to bring back Fable. And I'll defend Halo and still say that Halo is pretty good, but not Gears of War. BioShock, the first one, excellent game. I already talked about it earlier. It's excellent. It's a good game. It's got the Big Daddy Weave or Big Weave on the front cover. Gears of War Judgment. Not a bad game for the campaign. The online mode was a bit of a letdown, though. And this is definitely when the series was going downhill for sure. But it's still not bad. I think it's pretty good. But I think Gears of War 2 is my favorite one. Of course, I got Gears of War 1, 2, and 3 right here. Y'all can see them all. They are all great games in the series. The third game was supposed to be the last game where there's no locusts left. They killed off all the locust army and ended it there. I haven't beaten the third game. I need to beat that game. That and Judgment. I need to get back into it. But Gears of War 1, completed it all the way through. Great series. Definitely shows that third-person shooter games can be done well. You know, as long as they don't make them poor and that they're fair and balanced. So, it's definitely a great franchise that I recommend. And Gears of War 2 was just on steroids. Because out of all of them, personally, the campaign was excellent and it was long enough. And I thought that playing with my friend Ricky and the multiplayer mode was a blast. I played the multiplayer mode in the first game, and that was also good. Third game, not as much. But honestly, I think out of all of them, the one that had the best multiplayer, offline was the second game. Rock Band 2, somewhere in these stacks, I have Rock Band 1 as well. Rock Band 2 is a great game. I definitely recommend Rock Band 2 if you guys like rock music. You get all these songs here. You get AC/DC, AFI, Allman's Brother Bands, Avenged Sevenfold, Beastie Boys, which ties also into rap. You get Beck, Blondie, Bob Dylan, Cheap Trick, Bon Jovi, and all those other people there. Plus, you also get stuff from like Disturbed, Linkin Park, Korn, L7, Pretend We're Dead, and Paramore, and maybe a song or two by Kid Rock and Breaking Benjamin are in here as well. There were a lot more songs in this version than there were in the first game. So it's definitely a lot of fun, and it's even more fun if you have friends by to play with you and go through the campaign, the story mode. Basically, all the story mode is that you create a character and for the band, and it's you, and then you have other characters. You have like 3 other people in your band, and they help you throughout the game. If you do poorly on a song, you get booed off the stage. If you do okay in the song, you don't get the greatest points, but you still get by. And if you do excellent, you gain more fans and you get more recognition and more wealth. So it's basically what this storyline of Rock Band is. And it's really fun. Halo Reach was a pretty good Halo game, but the ending of this game really sucked. Like, because all the teammates were killed, and you're the only one left. And at the climax, you get shot, and you die. Like, and that's how the game ends. It's like, what? Ridiculous. But leading up to that point, before all that, it was still a pretty good game. I recommend it. Halo's a powerhouse on Microsoft Xbox consoles. Hunted the Demon Forge. This was a action RPG game for the Xbox 360, and it was also released on the PlayStation 3. I thought it was pretty good. It was you and one other character in the game, a CPU, or you could have the character that you play as, like if you had a friend over to play with you for co-op. So it was one of those RPG games that allowed co-op. It was pretty good. Graphics don't look amazing though, unfortunately. They really don't look that great. They could have looked a little bit better. But from what I played, it was pretty good, and I enjoyed it. I had some fun with that. Monopoly the Streets. This is a great Monopoly game. It's a lot of fun. There were different ways of playing in this game, like different modes on how the game is played. And I think there was a story mode briefly in the game. I didn't really pay much attention to the story mode. I just play good old classic Monopoly just to pass the time. But this game really just isn't as fun playing against a computer or 2 or 3 computers. It seems better when you have like yourself and a friend or 2 over to play with you with this game. And you really got to be committed to this game because it could take like 2 hours just to beat your opponents in the game to make them go bankrupt, you know. But if you have the time and the patience for this game, it's definitely a blast. But it's definitely more fun with friends than it is by yourself. I do know that they also made another Monopoly game for 360, and they just called it Monopoly. Okay, here's Battlefield 3 Limited Edition. I have this on PS3 as well. It's a great game. Battlefield games are great up until the most recent one, 2043 or something. That one sucks, but all the other Battlefield games are pretty fun. We're continuing, folks. Marvel vs. Capcom 3 Fate of Two Worlds is an excellent fighting game. You get to play as Capcom characters and Marvel characters, and it's just a blast. So many different characters that you can play as, from Spider-Man to Iron Man to Ryu to Chun-Li to Gully to Captain America, Thor, Hulk, and Daredevil. And maybe even Deadpool as well. Lots of different characters you can play as. And it really is fun. And it's usually 3-on-3, basically. So you have like 2 other characters that you get to pick. I would always pick Spider-Man because Spider-Man was a superhero that I grew up reading as a kid, you know. So definitely would always choose Spider-Man. But the other characters I usually switch up from time to time. So sometimes I'll have Wolverine with me along with Spider-Man. And then I'll have like Black Panther. Or another time where I have Thor in the mix and Wolverine and Spider-Man. Or Spider-Man, Daredevil, and Deadpool or something like that. Or I might choose Ryu, you know, to fight alongside us. It's a good game. I recommend it if you guys like crazy ass amounts of like combos and stuff and getting over like 100 hits, you know, when you're like super charged up and everything. And also, it's good if you like fighting games. It's fair and balanced, which is what we need in fighting games, for them to be fair and balanced. Inversion is a third-person shooter game. It's a blast to play. Definitely recommend it, but it definitely had some problems. I know a lot of people have talked about how Inversion really wasn't that great of a game. The gameplay is solid. The game is fun, but it's a bit linear, and you don't always know where you're supposed to go. There were a few times where I got stuck. I didn't know where to go. My teammate got stuck a couple of times, and there was like a glitch where he got stuck in something and couldn't get out. I had to restart that level over again because of the shitty glitches in the game. Other than that, it wasn't too bad, to be honest. I thought it was a pretty decent third-person shooter. Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter. Dated, very dated, but definitely a good third-person shooter. Not too shabby. It's also available on PS3 and PS2. I think it was also on PSP as well. Ghost Recon at Future Soldier, also great. Very good game. I actually remember when this game first was coming out, how GameStop was talking about it, and they were saying that like they were having like a midnight like pickup day where you could like go there at midnight and pick up this copy for $60, I think it was. I didn't pay no $60 for that. I was like, nah, no thanks. They were really pushing that on you too when this game came out. But I got it for like $10, or I got it in a lot with other games, and it's a decent game for a shooter. I also have the second one in here somewhere. Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell Conviction. Surprisingly, out of all of them, this one is actually exclusive. But it's still the same great Sam Fisher, going through the levels. Stealthy mode, killing bad guys and interrogating bad guys. And finding out resourceful information, things like that for you to report to your boss, Lambert. Good game. Sleeping Dogs was basically supposed to be the third true crime game that never happened. It's a action game, but it also has some like Grand Theft Auto elements in it, like shooting bad guys and driving in cars. It's a good game. I definitely recommend it. I don't think they're going to make another Sleeping Dogs game, though. I think they've retired it. It also does have some third-person shooting in it and stuff like that, Excuse me. It's kind of like Yakuza meets Grand Theft Auto, but then also takes it and turns it into like a Max Payne type of game as well. So it's like all three of those mixed into one. It's a decent game. Still had a lot of fun with that. Lord of the Rings War of the North. This is a good action RPG game in the Lord of the Rings franchise. Really, none of the Lord of the Rings games are bad except the first game, Fellowship of the Ring. But it's good. It's an action RPG game. You just go from point A to point B, killing orcs and other monsters in the game. And then getting to the next spot, talking to a few people, and then fighting more bad guys. So it's very simplistic, but it's actually pretty fun still, and that's what you need in a game like this. You need fun. Alrighty, we got 2 more stacks to go through here, folks. Hold on a second. Excuse me. Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2, very good action RPG game, and the Marvel franchise. You play as a team of 4, go through levels from point A to point B. You beat bad guys up, and then you collect stuff. You unlock boxes and stuff like that to pick up upgrades for yourself and also health. It's a good series. Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2, folks. Very good game. Even Jacko Goldkick has talked about how good this series is. It is a fun series. First game is also a blast too. I never played the third one, but I know it's exclusive to the Nintendo Switch. I don't know why they made it exclusive to the Nintendo Switch though. Thankfully though, I own the Nintendo Switch, so I could get a copy of it, but I'm looking at it for the right price. Halo 4, one of the greatest game on Xbox 360. There's no denying that Halo is a masterpiece. It really is. It's a good first-person shooter. The Sims 3, got this in a bunch of games. I don't really like the Sims games very much. They're very simulated. I'm not really into that whole thing. Not for me personally. But if you like simulated games, you'll love it. Ridge Racer Unbounded. This game basically plays like it is a Ridge Racer game, but it ties in with like Burnout, and it's like the only one in its franchise that does that. But it's good. It's a lot of fun. Metal Jesus Rocks has also talked about this game and how it's a blast to play, because it really is a blast to play. So I definitely recommend it if y'all are fans of Ridge Racer or Burnout, because it's like the one game that is like that, for Ridge Racer. But it's not Burnout. But y'all know what I mean. Oh, Brink, how I hate thee. Brink was a letdown. Brink sucked. The reason why Brink sucked is because the AI bots in the game that are supposed to help you out, they do not help you in the game. They say, we're taking our command posts, or they're taking our command post, and things like that. Repetitive dialogue in the game that they say over and over again. They don't help you out. They don't go to the command post to grab the flag. They don't do anything to help you. Really, you're on your own if you play this game. So with stupid AI in the game and, the online modes that was part of this game really sucked. The matches lasting only like a minute was a letdown, because like sometimes you'd enter into the match online and you'd start firing off your guns and going through the level, and then all of a sudden the match ended because of the bad connection, or just the fact that everybody else got killed off and there was a winner, but you just joined in late. That shit never happened in Call of Duty. You were getting a fair chance to win against like 50 different people, or 20 different people, or 30 different people, or however amount of people were playing the online mode. But in Brink, it would kick you out. So Brink was a really bad first-person shooter game. It had a lot of problems. Major League Baseball 2K11, I never played it. I got it in a lot with the Xbox 360 that had the red ring of death. And I'm not into baseball games, so I never played it. I just never could get rid of that game because it's in a GameStop case, and none of the retro game stores in my area would take it, so I just kept it in my collection. Mass Effect, very good game. Mass Effect 2, the best out of the franchise. And Mass Effect 3, which the ending was a bit of a disappointment, but the rest of the game is excellent. Mass Effect is an RPG shooter series where you play as a commander named Shepard who owns a ship and has other people that stay on the ship. And you explore different worlds and you fight bad guys by shooting at them. So it's got that third-person shooter thing going on. And also there is decision-making in these games as well. They're excellent. I heard Mass Effect Andromeda, though, was a piece of garbage, though. That it wasn't very good. So here, folks, I see we are at 48 minutes. So I'm actually going to make a part 2. So stay tuned for that, because it's going to be coming very soon. So take care, guys, and thank you for watching the first part. And stay tuned, because the second part is coming very soon.